Hello and welcome back to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and Steve Lindauer with the SILD Marines has brought a few friends with him today. So instead of me introducing them, Steve, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Those of you who don't know me, like she said, I'm Steve Lindauer. I'm with the Leathernecks, the Southern Indiana Leathernecks, so we call it SILD Division, or the detachment of the Marine Corps League number 931. And I'm honored to have some representatives of a organization that we advocate for, we support, and that is Honor Flight Southern Indiana. On my immediate left, we've got Charlene Sermersheim and her husband Gary Sermersheim. I'd be remiss if I did not at least mention Pat O'Keefe, who was the advocate for Honor Flight for a number of years, and unfortunately we lost Pat here about a year ago. He and his wife Diane really did a lot with Honor Flight, and Gary and Charlene have been so gracious to step in, and it's an issue they feel they're just all pumped up about, very passionate about. And so we've got an Honor Flight coming in. I think it's EVV 15. I'll let them talk about all the details on it. But for those of you who don't know what that is, we send veterans from any branch of the service, any war time, from, if you're still here from War of 1812, we'll find a way to get you on the plane. But so any branch of the service and any time period, and you get a one-day trip to Washington, D.C., all expenses paid for, and I guarantee it will change your life. With that, I will turn it over to Gary and Charlene, and they will give you the details on it. They're a lot better at it than I am.
Please, we'd love to hear more. Steve set you up for a pretty high bar, but we'll bring it back down. No worries. I'm excited to hear about what the Honor Flight has in store this year.
Well, they've had 1,500 vets have gone so far, and it's a nonprofit organization created solely to honor America's veterans that really didn't get too much acknowledgement when they got home. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the Honor Flight of Southern Indiana is the 133rd Honor Flight hub, and it serves 14 southern counties in Indiana.
Wow. So
we transport the heroes to Washington, D.C., a one-day trip, and they can reflect at their memorials, and it's done at no cost to them. They have a guardian that goes with them. A lot of times it's a family member, somebody close to them, somebody that will take care of them that day. And the process is, once we find out of someone who was in the service, or someone who knows of someone that was in the service and would like them to go, we get their name, age, phone number, and a good time to call them, and that's all it takes. And from there, I call or go online to my contact person, and that person has a committee, and they call these people and they get all the other information, like their medical records, next of kin, just all different kinds of information, and it goes in a database. And then at that time, you just kind of wait for the call to come, depending on how old you are or whatever. They always take the oldest person, or the, from the World War II on down the line. And also if somebody is pretty ill, they would push you up the line. So anyhow, you get, once you get the phone call again to come in for an interview, at that point, you're on the trip. So you come in with your guardian, and we talk to you, and it's so neat talking to these veterans. They always have things to tell us that are really interesting that we never would have heard before. But it's just a really nice time for them to come and get together. They give them something to eat. They make them relax when they get down there. They just wait on them hand and foot. They just really treat them well when they get down for that interview. So, and then the Thursday before the flight, we have it's a dinner at the Coliseum down at Evansville, and it's called a meet and greet. And there, all the veterans and their guardians, the ones that are going on the trip, have a meal together. Some of your representatives are there. They have a nice dinner for you, and there again, they're treated just very nicely. and then you go to flight day, and I'll let Gary tell you about that.
Okay, and meet and greet also. The veteran's wife can also come. She
Okay.
is welcome to come.
Our husband, depending upon who it is.
Yes.
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 If your wife is a veteran, your husband is also welcome to come, along with your guardian. Okay, you go to flight day, and at that meet and greet, they'll tell you what time to be there. And generally, like DuBois County time, it'll be like 6 o'clock. And the flight generally leaves at 7:30 in the morning. And then you go to Washington, D.C. When you get to Washington, D.C., you get broke up into 4 buses, red, white, blue, and the gold. 90% of the DuBois County people are on the gold bus.
Now, why is that?
We don't know. They do such a good job. We don't.
We're just Golden Star already.
Yes.
Okay, I just have to ask.
And we always tell them
Yeah.
because you're.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
It's got to be some alphabetical or something, right? Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, but like I say, most of them are on the gold bus, and it's a good thing because they really get there. But at that meet and greet, Mark Messmer's there, and then the wife will, after he speaks and everything, she'll tell him, over here the DuBois County people
Yeah.
are over here, and he'll come over there and he'll shake every one of them's hand, and he just does a wonderful job. And but flight day, you get Washington D.C., you get divided in buses. Every veteran gets a wheelchair. You cannot refuse that wheelchair. You have to take that wheelchair, and your guardian is in charge of that wheelchair. We load 95 wheelchairs on the plane, and 86 of them for sure get used.
wow.
And the first monument you go see is the World War II monument. The second monument you see will be the Korean monument, and then the Vietnam monument. After that is over, you will be going to Arlington Cemetery. That is the reason you cannot refuse this wheelchair. When you get to Arlington Cemetery, every veteran will sit in their wheelchair. You will get pushed right up front. I mean, some of these guys get as close to these guards that changing the guard people as Steve and I are close.
Wow.
Talking about the tomb of the unknown soldier here, right?
Yes.
I know, so,
Yes.
yes, and it's just the guardians will tell you it's just so emotional. Okay, your guardian does not have to serve in the military. You know, he could be chosen by the and everything, but if they have time that day, they will go to the Lincoln Monument, they will go to the Jefferson Monument, and then possibly the Navy Museum and the Air Force Museum.
Wow.
So it's a very packed day, and we just always pray for good weather, because the better the weather is, the faster you can move. Okay, the last thing of the day is you will go to the airport, you will get a good meal. You know, they treat you there too. I have never ever talked to a veteran that went to Washington, D.C. They will tell you that the people in Washington, D.C. treat you so well.
Really?
He said you would not believe how these guys get treated. He said, and there's so many kids there, children there and everything, and these kids just want to be around these veterans. They want to be around the hero is what they're really looking, you know, and
Yeah.
they just want to be there, and it's just emotional. So when you get back to Evansville, we have what we call the parade. All these veterans walk through the parade. There's a young person in front of you, be 12 and 18, carrying your picture, and it's generally a picture of you when you were young. If you have someone that wants to carry that picture in your family, all you can do is go online and send their name in. You know, and it's just a great day and everything. And after that is over with, you know, the last time these veterans get together is like 2 months later, and they make what I call the yearbook. It's when you get your senior in high school, you get your yearbook. It's everybody that's on this flight, it's their picture, and there again, it's a picture when they were young. This is just, these veterans, they just really, really like this book. And they just want to be seen, and if anybody ever wants to look at one of them books, between the wife and I, we got 3 of them.
Oh.
So,
There's a photographer down when you're doing interviews all the time. There's a photographer. And then when they do interviews, they are asked to bring different pictures. So their army
Yeah.
picture is one of them. And that is where the picture that the escort is what they call the person that walks in front of them before the parade. And it's usually the military picture that they enlarge. But in the book, there's many pictures. So, you know, you think 85 veterans, and a lot of them bring 7 or 8 pictures with them, plus all the pictures that are taken throughout when they were at Washington, D.C., but also when they went through the interview.
That's what I was going to say. Just random pictures of the
Yeah,
event.
and they're just and it's
Of
so
the day.
neat. And also at the meet and greet, they always take a picture of the Guardian with the veteran, and it's so neat. And so when you can, you know, like years down the road, these people can go back and see just what happened and remember those people. It's just really,
It's a keeper.
yeah, it is.
It's-
And also,
I was just gonna say, being able to show these veterans the monuments that they are there for. I mean,
yes.
that's
what they
one
fought
thing.
for.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But I mean, you hand and foot for a 24-hour period. They get to go to Washington D.C. and come back within the same day. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe how good a mood they're in at this parade. I mean, they've been at this all day in their 70s and 80s, and they are wide awake.
Wow.
Some in their 90s.
90s, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's you
One
could just see it in.
one story I want to tell is there was a gentleman, the last day we had this breakfast, he was from Ferndale, Indiana. And he told us a story at the table where we had, he said he was sitting at the World War II monument in Washington, D.C., and his girl said, "Hi there, Dad." His daughter drove from Delaware to go see these monuments with him.
That is so neat.
Surprised him on the monument.
Surprised
Yeah.
me.
Wow.
It's just, the whole day, it's emotional.
And,
Yeah.
and the reason she knew exactly where he was. This is live streamed. There is someone with the honor flight that is all day long on Facebook.
Yes.
So you can go down and you can tell exactly where they are.
Real time?
Yes, real
Real
time.
time.
They
Didn't
can
know
tell
that.
you. We know down at Evansville when they're leaving Washington D.C.
Wow.
You know, so
That
it's
is- wow.
really neat. And these pictures, if you go to Facebook, and then all you got to put in there is honor flight of Southern Indiana, it pops up a plane, and all of a sudden there's a button that says apply, and you press on that, and you get applications for, like if you would like somebody to be that escort,
Yes.
are different things that you can see. But also, if you keep going down on those pages, they have pictures of, you know, the last flight, and it's just really neat to see all that stuff.
I cannot wait. That's the first thing I'm going to do after we get finished with this interview. So, when is the next honor flight?
October 21st.
Are you still wanting people to sign up, or we got the crew set?
The crew is set. On August the 5th is the day they called them up and told them, okay, and then August 26th is when we had to check in. If you pass that check-in, you're on the next flight, so the flight is full.
Yeah.
Our next flight will be leaving in April.
Okay.
And they fly American Airlines, and I am on the wheelchair committee, so you're out there in the tour mat and you're loading up wheelchairs and stuff, and these pilots are up there in the cabin pumping their fists. They're as excited as the veterans are. I tell you, they're really excited.
That sounds so exciting.
And about the wheelchairs, it's not like everybody has to use the wheelchair the whole
No.
time. It's just that they're there if you need it. And the only time they have to use it is at Arlington Cemetery.
But that's to get them up there close.
Yes.
Because that's, if you've never seen that, I know
Yeah.
a lot of your viewers have been there, but that's something to see when you see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and those soldiers walking that beat. It's really neat to see.
As someone who's, of course, not wheelchair bound or anything, I hope people don't take it as an offense or anything. Take it as a luxury. You have a chair on wheels
Yeah,
that goes with
exactly.
you everywhere. Like,
Right.
just if you need a moment, that's what it's there for. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We truly look for them, gentlemen, women and men. If you're totally wheelchair, we will take care of you. I'll guarantee you, and you will enjoy it. 'Cause it's surprising how many of them veterans, when they come through that parade, they are in the wheelchair. Because you know that's a lot of walking.
Long day.
That's why the Guardian goes through a test.
I might point out there's been people in the past who said, no, I've got this medical condition, that medical condition. That's not something I can do. Talk to us. Let you'd be surprised what could be, because there's somebody there. There's doctors on board the plane, is it not, Gary
Yes.
and Charlene?
There's two on each.
Yeah.
There's two on each bus,
Okay, so
and a
there
lot
are
of your
things right-
guardians are nurses or whatever.
EMTs
too.
or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of medical people on.
Yeah.
On the
Wow.
gold bus last time, there was a gentleman from Jasper. He, like I say, he was on the gold bus, and he said on their bus alone, there was 24 medical people on there, counting the nurses and everything on.
Wow.
If the reason you're not signing up is on the kind of medical, we will take care of you.
Yeah.
There's professionals around. You're not just sending
Yes.
them out on a field trip all willy-nilly.
Right.
Right.
Very
Exactly.
much goes into the planning of this.
Exactly. It's very much a military operation.
Yes.
Very much so.
I think that's a good way to think about
Yeah.
it.
And anyone looking to be a volunteer, just go on Southern, Honor Flight Southern Indiana, and it'll tell you how to become a volunteer. You will never regret it.
Yeah.
Because, the volunteers are just, they're super people. And a lot of
Yeah.
our volunteers, they will tell you the reason they signed up is they were a guardian on a flight, and they liked the way their people were treated. The only complaint I've ever heard from any veteran is they never let me do. He said, they do everything for me.
Yeah.
Because we're told as volunteers, you never let a veteran stand alone. He said, you always stand beside them and everything, and it's just a great experience.
They have another thing that is called it's a wheelchair sign. So if you know of someone that maybe passed away before this was happened, you can pay $100 and they will have a sign printed, and it will have in memory of or in honor of that person's name. I did this for my dad, and he passed away in 2013. And the honor flight started in 2014. So he would have loved this, but I thought, okay, this is one way to get him there. And this sign, you give a $100 donation. They put it on the wheelchair, and it goes to 2 flights. They'll at least keep it on, and then afterwards they'll give the sign back to you. But I just thought it was just another donation, because they'll take donations. There's so many things that need donations, and everything. So that's just one more way to give a donation in honor of somebody.
And we're always looking for sponsors to donate us
Yes.
towards that as well.
Yeah.
It seems like that's all I do is ask for money, but
That's okay. See,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to ask. I mean, I don't have a family member that's served who's living anymore or anything like that. So if the plain Jane like me, if someone wanted to give to the organization, there's a way to just simply donate, correct?
yes.
You can donate to Honor Flight of Southern Indiana, and .org, or like you said, go to the Facebook part, and the same thing. There's a place where you can donate also. So we're just always looking for donations, and there's a lot of sponsors that are needed for instance, they have little goodie bags that they send with the guys when they go over, and also when they come back, for the meals for even the volunteers on the night of when they do the interviews, everybody that's down there helping, they get pizzas for them. I mean, there's just all different kinds of things that you need money for, but it's just that every donation helps.
And it makes sure that while this event is going on, anything that they need is taken care of.
Right.
Yes.
Which,
We also have mail call, which is what that is. If there's a veteran that's going to be on this flight, we like to have their relatives or friends write them a note. And also on that website, there's a place where you can go to mail call, and there's a place where you can send these letters to. And actually, here in Jasper, you can take it out to the Old National Bank on the north end of Jasper. And I think it's between, September now, and I think maybe the second week in October.
okay.
And you can take these letters out there, and all you got to do is put Honor Flight on the envelope and their name,
Yeah.
and they will get it to them too. But it's just a little. It doesn't have to be a letter. It's just a nice thank you for your service.
Just a note to them.
Just something.
Yeah.
A lot of kids do
they
this,
can
don't
think.
they?
Well, I know I've gone to the schools and asked the school kids if they'd write something, and I was so surprised because there were 4 veterans at that time that I knew they had grandkids there.
Yeah.
And when I went to pick them up, I had 4 manila envelopes
Wow.
full of letters and everything from
Wow.
the school
Wow.
kids. I got on the car and I just about cried because it was just so neat. I didn't know there'd be that many.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else we need to know about the honor flight? I mean, you guys have done a great job encapsulating everything, and I cannot express how the energy that you've dedicated to this is here, and I cannot express it through the cameras, but it's very exciting, and we're super thankful that you guys are able to come in and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, I want to say, the way to sign up for this honor flight is you can go online and sign up to Southern Indiana, Honor Flight of Southern Indiana, SI.org. Or you can call me at 812-631-2602, and I'll get you on the flight. And also you can go to your American Legions or VFWs, somewhat of a military thing, and you can sign up there. So there's numerous ways you can sign up, and you know, these young kids are looking for heroes, and they honor veterans. You know, because grandkids and great grandkids, they want to tell them their grandpa or great grandpa was on this flight.
Wow.
And, you know, so don't let them down.
Yeah.
Sign up and go.
And cannot stress enough that there's so many different options. You just have to
Yes.
seek it out. If you're submitting on behalf of someone, again, just seek it out and go for it.
Go for it. Yes. You'll never regret it.
Well, we appreciate your time today. Again, there's so much, and this is a good start to the relationship, and I want to see you guys back here to talk about the honor flight some more.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you very much. We
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate the time.
It's just the energy here is overwhelming. It's like as bright as your shirts. I'd say it's
They are
it's there.
bright. Yeah.
So on that note, I will wrap it up for today. Could not be thankful enough for all of you guys and all that you do. And thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form with the Southern Indiana Honor Flight. And we are local people watching local people.